it's a big one, really, isn't it? That's no other way to describe it, really. It's to come down to this. You know that if you lose it, you're down, but there is still a brief glimmer of hope. Can you give us a kind of an insight into what the mentality's like amongst you as a group going into this game?
Yeah, it's I think we all know what's at stake, really. You know, we're going to Bolton away, which is going to be it's a difficult place at the best of times. But we've got the mentality of there's still a chance, and you know, if there's a chance to be taken, we're gonna do our best to take it. So you know, we know what's at stake, and we're gonna try and go to Bolton and get the 3 points.
Is there a sense of regret around the place that it's got to this point when you've had opportunities to maybe make yourself safe prior to this point?
No, it's a difficult one because we can't really dwell on the past. Because when you do that in football, it can start a rot and be horrible. But we're all human. We know what's happened in the season. We shouldn't really be in this situation, especially with the players we've got and the facilities we have. You know, we shouldn't really be in this spot. But we have had chances to get out of this mess, and we haven't done it, and we've only got ourselves to blame.
Are you able to put your finger on maybe what it's been that has caused you to be in this position? Is there maybe one thing?
No, I think it's just a multiple. There's a lot of things that can go on in the season. You know, we started. First game was a 7-0 thumping against Barnsley, and then all of a sudden we went on an incredible run, and I think we played Burton to go top of the league, and we lost there, and so it's not like we don't know how to win games, and it's not like we don't know how it feels to get a run and the confidence high, but you know, it's been a very turbulent season for all of us, and I think it's shown through the season, really.
How's it affected you personally and the group as a whole when you find yourself in this? How do you get through it? How do you keep yourself at the point where you think, yes, we can still do it?
I think when you're not mathematically down, you know, there's always hope. There's always, you know, something to believe in, really. And like you say, we are not mathematically down. We are in a bit of a mess right now, but things can happen. Things can happen on Saturday. We could go to Bolton and win and nick a 1-0 win, and then it all comes down to the last game of the season against Cambridge. So then things can happen, but it's down to us. It's down to us to do it, and we're going to try our best.
You know, you'll inevitably get, when you're in situations like this, that you know, the players don't really care about what goes on. Enough of them have said that they do. From your own personal perspective, can you say just how much this, being in this situation and the potential of a relegation, but also getting out of it makes up you? How do you feel about being down here, and how do you feel about getting out of it?
Yeah, listen, it's really disappointing. You know, I don't want to be relegated. I don't want to be relegated twice in 2 seasons. It just doesn't look good. You know, with Morecambe, it was, again, it went down to the last game, and in hindsight, we probably should never have got to the last game. We should have been relegated a few weeks prior to that. But you know, I've come here, and the conversations I had with Flitcroft were nothing like relegation. You know, he was adamant that we were going to be around the playoffs and pushing for promotion. But then things happen. You know, it happens in the season, and for me personally, it doesn't look great. But I know I give my all on the pitch, and I always do what I can do on the pitch for the boys and for the fans. I like to think that the fans can see that I literally wear my heart on my sleeve, and yeah, it's difficult. It's been difficult a few weeks, but like I said, we are not mathematically down, we are still capable of getting out of this.
As a goalkeeper, does it kind of help? Because like goalkeepers have to be kind of a bit mentally tougher, because whatever happens to you gets magnified, doesn't it? So does that help in some ways, because you play in that position where there's always scrutiny, and you have to build yourself up mentally to deflect all that?
No, I think, listen, I think being a footballer, you have to be thick-skinned. It's one of those things. You've got many critics and many people who have their own opinions, and people who, don't know anything about football, but then still come for us, and we've just got to take it on the chin, and it can get frustrating sometimes. But I think everyone is mentally strong in football, but as a goalkeeper, I know where you're coming from. Being a goalkeeper, it's a lonely position, and you've got to be mentally strong, especially if you make any mistakes. You've got to just get up, brush yourself down, and get on with it. So it's I'm unfortunately equipped for this scenario, and I'm hoping that come Saturday we've still got a fighting chance.